Yeah, let's rewind back to the year of 1987. How old were you in 1987? She didn't exist. She was still a twinkle in her daddy's eye, and a sort of ovum in her mother's womb. I don't know how. Okay, yeah, sorry. All this actual stuff I'm not very familiar with. But back in 1987, okay, it's a fairly important year to us because that was the year of Singapore's first gay plays. I say plays because there were two plays that went up there, and there was a lot of back and forth between the theatre group, between Theatre Works, which was setting them up, and the police, because the police were the ones who were in charge of the arts back then. And Russell Heng, who is now a big activist for transgender workers, he was author of one of the plays. It was actually more of a transgender play. It was called, what was it called? Lest the Demons Get to Me. It's been, yeah, it's a pretty good play. I wish that someone would redo it. Maybe we'll do it next year. But this year, we are going to have an excerpt from a play called As If He Hears. It's by Jay Yu. Jay Yu was a singer, well, he was a Singapore playwright. Now, then he migrated to England and became an Asian British playwright. Then he migrated to San Francisco and became an Asian American playwright. He's really famous for the plays he wrote back there, Porcelain, which was set in London, and you know, A Language of Their Own, which is set in New York and Boston. It's in Boston, and it's. But, you know, why don't we see the kind of strange, angsty juvenilia that he wrote in 1987? It was part of a double bill talking about HIV. And Joel Tan has agreed to direct this portion with Deborah Emanuel and Don Xiao in reading as well.
AIDS. The first time I heard about AIDS was about 6-7 years ago. I was an account executive then, and during an office lunch, someone mentioned about a new incurable disease called AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. It was quite a mouthful then. At the same time, Time magazine had a headline that screamed about the disease too. The article claimed that AIDS only struck homosexuals, intravenous drug users, Haitians, and hemophiliacs. Since my family was not a part of that risk group, I breathed easily.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I do? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be.
Stop. I can't stand hearing any more Doris Day songs anymore. For months now, you've been singing or playing tapes of Doris Day wherever we go. Don't you get sick of it?
Oh, I love Doris Day. Did you ever see those Saturday matinees on TV like Pillow Talk on Moonlight Day or 42nd Street? I used to watch them every week. Life was so simple, so old-fashioned. I wish life was like one of those Doris Day movies.
Why are you so dramatic, so drama?
What is life without drama? Life is filled with drama. And without drama, you have ordinary, boring lives. I would die. Now, enough of being drama. Being drama takes up a lot of energy. So how are you feeling?
A little better. The bar was just too smoky and noisy. I needed this air. It's been ages since I went to the park.
Me too. When everything in the world seems to be very fast and complicated for me, I always come here and just sit down to relax. Just to think about things, you know, and the things never change. The people may be different, but still the same screaming kids on the seesaw, on the swing, the same mothers pushing their adorable little babies on those photo prams, the same grandmothers and grandmothers.
Life isn't an MGM musical, you know. You've got the poor and hungry beggars, hooligans making a nuisance of themselves, wandering at odd hours of the day, the drunkards, the rapists.
Oh, they are not part of my reality. I want to see what I choose to see.
That's very narrow-minded.
In a way, maybe. With everything in life constantly changing and moving, I want to hold on to the simple things that never change. Like this park, you know. Children all smiling, holding balloons or ice cream, young lovers holding hands, whispering to each other. There's moments like these I wish I could live my life.
Really? And what would you have done differently in another life?
Everything. For once, I'd like to be, you know, like everybody else. A normal, everyday, ordinary person.
But you are normal.
Being who and what I am isn't easy.
Being who and what I am isn't easy either.
Oh, I guess we're together then. You and I are in the same boats that the world has thrown us into and forgotten the oars to, leaving us in the middle of nowhere with no destination to go through.
But it's lonely being in these boats.
It is, and when you want to bring family and friends aboard to get a feel of who and where you are, the boat tends to rock even more. My father wanted me to go to business, but my mind can't seem to add numbers or even multiply. I have an interest only to help people, like social work. My parents and friends will never understand the real thing.
We are in the same boat then.
I saw AIDS as someone else's disease. A foreigner's disease which will never threaten me or my family, never become a part of my life. AIDS was someone else's problem, not mine. I even made a few jokes about AIDS. Have you heard this one? It's still my favorite. Mommy, I've got some bad news and some good news to tell you. The bad news is that I have AIDS. The good news is that I'm dying. How about this one? What is the medical definition of AIDS? It's a disease that turns fruits into vegetables.
You know, I never chose this.
No one chooses what they want to be. They just are, like names, lifestyles, AIDS. If I had a choice, I would go back to school, redo my A-levels, go into university and study sociology or psychology, something that I can use in social work in the future.
You can if you want. You have a choice. I think we would like to believe that we aren't given any choices in life, but sometimes we are. When we are, we have to make the right choices. And when we aren't, we have to make do, try and fight those situations that we're put into. Like mine.
Wow, you're certainly being philosophical this evening.
I'm only trying to help.
I know, but I'm supposed to be one helping another, not you.
Now, don't you go rocking the boat. It's my turn today. You have been very kind to me all these weeks. God knows if Ruth would even put up with all my fuss. No, I miss Ruth.
You still love her, don't you?
Yeah. You can't stop loving someone you spent almost 10 years with.
Have you heard from Ruth lately?
Yeah, I called yesterday. Ruth is unusually quiet, like she's sick or something. But Jude is fine. My angel got a couple of A's in mathematics and in English. I'm so proud of her.
How old is Jude?
7. She's growing up fast. It seems like only yesterday when we were out here taking walks or reading, you know, I used to read her nursery rhymes right here, and that girl would ask me so many questions. Like, how did Jack and Jill fall down the hill? Why didn't Miss Muffet kill the spider? Why 10 little Indians, not 20 or 30?
I remembered asking myself the same questions when I was growing up. 10 little Indians.
I've often wondered myself where this silly rhyme originated from. You know, nursery rhymes were usually composed as little social satires.
Yeah, I read somewhere that the rhyme was possibly composed sometime in the 1800s when the American pioneers were moving out to the Midwest. Because of the frequency of the Red Indian attacks then, the Indians were used as some sort of teaching device. It taught children how to count. I think the increasing numbers of Red Indians were the dead ones, and the decreasing numbers were the alive ones.
Sounds like the AIDS epidemic to me. The number of deaths escalating, the number of survivors diminishing. I would know, wouldn't I?
Years later, AIDS became a regular feature in the newspapers, on TV news and documentaries. I stopped reading about the new developments, new victims and new drugs. I just can't keep up with the news. New drugs with names I can't pronounce. Then something about a Chinese cucumber extract. Frankly, I was tired of all the hoopla that surrounded AIDS. Then one night, Hans came back with the news that he has AIDS.
Do you think he listens?
Who?
God. Do you think he hears?
Yes, I think so. And sometimes when you don't think he is, you must live every moment of the day as if he does. As if he hears.
As if he hears.
As if he hears.